Hello again, Straussman back again for another live reaction video, and this is for the Bethesda press conference. And man, wow, Bethesda did their first ever press conference about 2 years ago, and they nailed it out of the park. And they just know how to run a press conference, man. Short, to the point, and nothing but great video games. And wow, I'll tell you the highlights, the lowlights, what I thought. Not going to be really a lot of lowlights in this. It was really good, man. I you know tip my cap to Bethesda. Incredible press conference. Way to do it. I mean, it was probably only a 35, 40 minute press conference. So the highlight for me, the number one thing for me for this press conference was the announcement of Evil Within 2. I've been waiting for a sequel for that game, and to finally get it announced. And man, the graphics are insane on that game. I need to go finish the first one. I haven't finished the first game yet. I play with an Astro A50 headset, and the sound is incredible. It's 7.1 surround sound and everything. Shameless plug there for Astro. And it has changed how I really play a lot of it. Like, horror games are really hard to play now. I'm gonna openly admit, horror games are hard to play with the Astro A50s. I beat the PT demo. If anyone remembers the PT demo, like a year and a half ago, I beat it. I beat it. I beat that demo 7 times. When I got my Astro A50 headset, I never played it again. That was how creepy it was. And Evil Within, made by Shinji Mikami, the godfather of Resident Evil. He did Resident Evil 2, Dino Crisis, some of my favorite horror games, and then he reinvented Resident Evil and made it RE4, and that's probably considered the best one. 2 and 3 will always be my favorite Resident Evil, but Evil Within 2, Evil Within 1 was just phenomenal. It was such a great game. Like I said, I need to beat it. I want to get all the DLC, but I'm not a graphics whore, but man, the graphics on Evil Within 2 just skyrocketed. I mean, it is insane how good it is. Another big was what they ended. A big highlight for me is what they ended with is Wolfenstein 2. Another really fun game. It was okay graphically when it came out a few years ago. The only criticism I had of that first game was the opening scene, because you're really stuck on a plane for most of the mission. But once you get to the castle and you go into the coma, like, the game just takes off and it becomes amazing. And again, with the graphics, man, an insane jump. I mean, an insane jump of graphics. I don't know what they were playing. Probably a PC, obviously, maybe an Xbox One X. But man, it was really good. Like, that trailer was ridiculous for Wolfenstein 2. Man, I was blown away by both those games. Those are probably the 2 biggest highlights for me. I mean, wow. They basically announced, almost every announcement was really good. I mean, they had DLC for Dishonored 2. I think it's called The Outsiders, or, I believe it's The Outsiders. That game did incredibly well. I played the first Dishonored. I liked it really a lot. I didn't have a chance to pick up number 2 yet. And number 2 I heard is really good. I saw all the reviews on it. Everyone really praised that game. I'm glad it's getting DLC, getting some extra life, and it looks very substantial too. It was a little snippet of the trailer, but man, it looked good. It looked really good. They had no release date for the Nintendo Switch version of Skyrim. But if you have the Breath of the Wild amiibo for Skyrim, you can scan it in and you'll get a Link costume and the Master Sword, which is really cool. I think a lot of people will buy that on Switch because, for the sake of, portability. That's the point of a Switch, is you can take it anywhere you want. And 2 is that you could dress up like Link and have the Master Sword in Elder Scrolls, even though that's like a 10-year-old game. You know, um, they they announced they announced the esports for Quake, and before esports was a thing, Quake was like the original esport, like it really was. People, if you ever remember the MTV show True Life, there was a gamer, a professional gamer that would take his back in that day would take his PC everywhere, and he would win Quake tournaments, and because Quake was the original, original esport, and it's coming back bigger than ever. That's another thing I want to really compliment Bethesda, bringing back a lot of IPs that have been gone for a long time. Like they brought back Prey. I heard that game's okay though. I haven't really played that new one yet. Some people were blah about it, some were okay about it. Um, bringing back a lot of stuff that has been gone for a long time. Wolfenstein hasn't had a really good. Before the previous one they redid, all the previous ones before that were really bad. They were not really considered good games. Making a new IP with Evil Within as well, like that was a big risk, but they got Shinji Mikami. Like if you get Shinji Mikami, like the god of horror, like you gotta play that. You gotta play that game. But they done a tremendous job reviving a lot of, even Doom coming back. Doom was, all the previous Dooms were pretty good. Like they were good. Like they were original Xbox, like Doom 3. I don't think a lot of people played that one a lot. But it was pretty good. But man, it has come back better than ever. They even announced VR stuff for the HTC Vive. They got Fallout VR, and they got Doom VFR, virtual effing reality. Really, really cool. Really, really interesting. I'm not into VR yet. It's just too expensive for me. I wish they would put some on PlayStation VR. The reason why I haven't bought a VR headset or anything is just too much for me right now, and I don't know if I can handle it. I suffer from motion sickness sometimes. It just randomly just appears. I'll go years without having any issues, and all of a sudden I'll take a car ride in somebody's car and I'll just get horribly sick and it just not feel good. So I've heard a lot of people suffer from that when they play VR. They play VR too long. I wouldn't recommend playing VR more than maybe like an hour and a half, an hour or two. But both games look pretty good. Fallout VR looked really good, and then Doom FVR looked really, really good too, which would be probably, Chad and I talked about it earlier with VR, like horror for VR is incredible. I don't think they'll put Evil Within or Wolfenstein on there yet. Evil Within is obviously a third-person game, but they would have to make it first-person for VR, because I think that's the only way to really do horror on VR right now is first-person. Makes you very immersed, and that's what I've heard. I've heard nothing but great things about VR. It's just really immersive, and the graphics might not generally blow you away, but it looks really, really good. So, they announced a lot of great things. I'm sure I'm missing a couple things, though. Lowlights for me, I think they announced some more, like they basically had a few YouTubers talk about, like in a trailer, talk about Elder Scrolls Morrowind that just came out, the MMO one. I don't play MMOs, not really into that. They got over 10 million people playing, they said, Elder Scrolls Online, which is good. That's a good community. I know it was, when it first came out, it was kind of blah, but now they fixed some things and it's getting better. I don't play MMOs anymore. The only thing close to an MMO, which really is an MMO, was Destiny. I played that for a while, but I probably won't be getting back into it till Destiny 2. Maybe. I don't even know. I have the Destiny 2 collector's pre-ordered, but I don't know if I'm going to even pick it up. Might give it to a buddy who would really play and enjoy that game. But I want to give it a shot because I really did have a lot of fun, in Destiny. So they also, another really kind of low light for me, which is it's not really a bad negative. It's just they're adding a new expansion to the card game that's on tablets and stuff, which is good. It's that's what if the card game's doing really well, why not make another one, add Skyrim to it and everything like that. But I don't know, that stuff doesn't interest me. The MMO stuff, and then that doesn't interest me. But overall, this conference, I pretty much got to give it like an A plus. I mean, it was fantastic. I was not bored at all. I was very blown away. Let me know if I'm missing anything. Short, sweet, to the point. It's only about a 10-minute vid, but man, I was very impressed by Bethesda. I mean, you guys kill it. You every year you just started making a press conference, but you know how to do it to a T. These other companies should really be taking tips from you. I mean, they are probably one of the premier companies right now, one of the high end studios right now, and they make great games, open world games and horror games, and I'm excited. Biggest highlights again: Evil Within 2, Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. Both games had insane upgrades in graphics. Both look really, really good. Can't wait. Can't wait to play only like 2 hours of Evil Within 2 with the Astro headset there. Another shameless plug. Thank you guys so much. Straussman out.